Have you ever studied everything the night before an exam? But the moment you walked into that hall, your mind went completely blank? Or tried to remember someone's name and said, "It's right there, on the tip of my tongue"? Today, I'm going to show you exactly what science says about human memory, and the specific techniques that will help you actually remember everything. If you're new here, subscribe right now, because by the end of this video, you'll have tools that can completely change the way you learn. First, let's understand how our brain saves information. Scientists say memory works in 3 stages: encoding, storage, and retrieval. Information enters the brain, gets stored, and then gets pulled out when you need it. The problem: most people fail at encoding. You read words. You hear sounds. But your brain doesn't label it as important, so it doesn't save it. A German scientist named Hermann Ebbinghaus discovered something called the forgetting curve. It tells us that within just 24 hours of learning something, we forget nearly 70% of it. 70% gone. So what do we do about it? The most powerful way to fight the forgetting curve is something called spaced repetition. The idea is simple: don't just study something once. Revisit it at carefully spaced intervals. Here's what it looks like in practice. Study today. Review tomorrow. Again in 3 days. Then 1 week later. Then 1 month later. Every time you review, your brain thinks, this information keeps coming back. It must be important. And moves it into long-term memory. There's a free app called Anki that automatically schedules when to show you each card based on how well you remember it. The best students in the world use it. Medical students, law students, language learners, all swear by it. This one sounds strange, but it works. It's called the memory palace, or the method of loci, and ancient Greek orators used it to deliver hours-long speeches from memory. Here's how it works. Close your eyes and picture a place you know very well. Your home, your school, your street. Now, take the things you want to remember and mentally place them at different spots in that location. Want to remember a list of 10 things? Put one at the front door. One in the hallway, one on the sofa. One in the kitchen. When you need to recall them, just take a mental walk through that place. You'll see each item right where you left it. You've seen Sherlock Holmes do this in the BBC show. And real-life World Memory Championship winners use this exact same method. It's not magic, it's just how spatial memory works. This is the most research-backed technique on this list. Most students read, highlight, read again. It feels productive. But studies show it's almost completely ineffective for long-term memory. Active recall means this: close the book and ask yourself, what did I just learn? Can I remember it? It feels hard at first. Your mind draws a blank. But that struggle, that effort to retrieve, is exactly what makes your brain stronger. Research shows active recall is up to 50% more effective than passive rereading. Here's a simple way to do it. After reading a chapter, take a blank piece of paper and write down everything you can remember without looking. Whatever you can't write down, that's your weak spot. Go back and study only that. Most people treat sleep as the enemy of productivity. But here's the truth: sleep is when your brain actually does the work. Everything you learn during the day gets processed, sorted, and transferred into long-term memory while you sleep. This process is called memory consolidation. A study from Harvard Medical School found that people who slept after learning performed significantly better on memory tests than those who stayed awake, pulling an all-nighter before an exam. You're literally deleting your own memories. Aim for 7 to 9 hours. And if possible, review what you've studied. Right before bed, you're sleeping. Brain will consolidate it overnight. Here's something your teachers never told you. Your brain doesn't store facts like a hard drive. It stores connections. The more you link new information to something you already know, the easier it is to remember. This is called elaborative encoding. When you learn something new, ask yourself, how does this connect to something I already know? What does this remind me of? Can I make an example from my own life? For example, learning about electricity. Connect it to water flowing through a pipe. Voltage is pressure. Current is flow rate. Resistance is a narrow pipe. The weirder and more personal the connection, the better your brain holds onto it. Your brain has a limit on how much it can hold at once. Psychologist George Miller famously found that the human brain can hold roughly 7 pieces of information in working memory at a time. So instead of trying to remember 20 random things, chunk them into groups. Think about a phone number. You don't memorize 10 separate digits, you remember them in chunks, 017, 1234 to 5678. Same principle applies to studying. Group related ideas together. Build a structure. Give your brain a framework to hang information on. Instead of a random pile of facts. So let's bring it all together. 1. Use spaced repetition. Review at increasing intervals. Use Anki. 2. Build a memory palace. Place information in a familiar space and walk through it mentally. 3. Practice active recall. Close the book. Test yourself. Write it out. 4. Protect your sleep. 7 to 9 hours. Memory consolidation happens at night. 5. Make connections. Link new information to what you already know. 6. Use chunking. Group information into meaningful clusters. You don't have a bad memory. You just haven't been taught how to use it. The people who seem to remember everything aren't smarter than you. They just have better systems. And now, so do you. If this video helped you, hit the like button and share it with one friend who needs this. Drop a comment below telling me which technique you're going to try first. I'll see you in the next one.